Another day in Los Santos. Good to see you too, Penny. Stay hard at work. Always spending money, so we need more. And might want to call a cleaner. We can clean this up and spend it. I think if you actually go broke, this money stays in the ground. Let's see what color we get today. Oh, well, maybe, yeah. Because I was going to say we already orange in our invite-only session, but can't be orange when somebody else already is. There you go. Cool blue. Aqua blue. Sea wash blue, maybe. I don't know. Sleepy Hershey killed Saroof 1. Sleepy Hershey killed Open Center. Sleepy Hershey is also like a rank 1000. And there's Sleepy Hershey. Let's have a look at the players. Sleepy Hershey. 2019. Instructor. Saroof and Open Center. Sleepy Hershey. So Saroof and Open Center. So Saroof, he's a level 32. And Open Center is 57. Yeah. So that was a bald dude and a girl being picked on by like 900 plus rank plus character.
Our fearless leader.
Assuming they're not a cheater, which is suspect when you're that high. But, you know, some people can be that high.
Hello. What do you need? As soon as you've decided, I'll get the Pegasus rep to prepare the vehicle.
Yeah.
Sure. It's on the way to the helipad.
Let's see if we can make it across to our facility. That's the Star Trek fight music. For those that don't know. Oh, I was listening to music earlier. Oh, I hate that loud sound. Please don't kill me while I'm doing this. Yeah, I wish you could separate music from game music. I like some of the game music, but like the flying music, and I guess when you first start playing it's alright, but after a while it gets old and annoying. And I wish I could just have quiet like this, you know. But it'd be nice if I could also have my radio on. But I guess you can always just turn it on and off like I just did. But it's a pain in the butt. Alright, so you guys are probably wondering what I'm up to. But I probably titled the video something to tell you. I don't know what I'm up to because I record things live, generally speaking. So I'm doing it as we talk. So I don't know the future yet. Although you guys might. I'm not so lucky. I'm living the moment. Get into the bunker, the facility. Let's go. Open sesame. Alright, well, there's a good opening while we're doing this here. Hello, everybody. That's me down there. I am the Missing Sock. Welcome back for more Grand Theft Auto Online. Yeah, here we are in our Doomsday facility. So, yes. Alright. Now, where is my metro? Oh, right there. Good. Okay. Alright, everybody. So, yeah, welcome back. And today is kind of a special episode. Not exactly the most positive of things to talk about, but it's a special episode. It's one I've been trying to put together for a while, one that off and on people have asked me about, and that's how to avoid bad players, how to avoid griefers, how to avoid problems. I haven't gotten into this too much because it can be a pain in the butt. Oh, Sleepy Hershey is off the radar. Well, hopefully we can catch him when he comes back on. Hopefully he doesn't leave while we're talking. It's okay if he does. I'm sure there'll be another one. Hey, you keep guard, man. Oh, it's nice and quieter in here, isn't it? Yeah. Pick up some weapons. Good thing about facility. Over time, this helps you keep your ammunition down, and remember your teammates. Especially if you got like help out new players that are below rank 120, let's say, and they can pick up this minigun in there and be helped out. Have better weaponry until they leave the session. All right, so let's get into it, everybody. So today, I usually don't follow a list or a script or anything like that. I don't have a script, but I've got a little bit of a reminder sheet because there's a lot to cover today. So we're going to go through it all. And yeah, we'll have a look. So I found some new stuff. Well, new stuff for me. It's actually been in the game for a while, and I'm not sure why more people don't know about it. I suspect that it didn't work too well in the past. You know, take it for what it's worth. Maybe you guys already know. Maybe you heard about it in the past and just didn't try it out, or it didn't work well for you. You might want to try it again. You know, maybe it's because of all the patches Rockstar's done, but it's certainly much better than it used to be. So, without further ado, let's have a look. What am I talking about? So we're also going to talk about solo sessions. So I know a lot of people that are listening probably think about solo sessions first, and we'll discuss that probably at the end because we already talked about that in my show with some of you guys recently. So we'll revisit that at the end of this and spare you guys the boredom of going through all that. But those that want to know, you know, it is a great way to keep bad players away from you. But it isn't perfect. You know, because there's issues with, well, if you want to play with friends or things like that. Coffee's good in the facility. So that helps. All right, so we're going to bring up what I wanted to show you guys. So that's the block list, and that's first. So I didn't even know this was there. When I was in my social club, it had a little tip, and it was reminding me, and I'm like, really? Block list? Did you know about the block list? I did not know about the block list. So we're going to have a look at the players in the session. Let's see. There's Sleepy Hershey. Jeez, can't talk today. So Sleepy Hershey here is suspect, is picking on low rank guys, and has a very high rank. You know, I don't want to say he's a cheater, but it's suspect to me. Now, I'm going to show you guys how this works, and we'll talk about it. So for starters, we're going to click on his name, and you can always remember to kick is one of the first advices too. Pops you out as the list changes. You can always remember to kick if you have people to help you kick, or you can ask people to help. You know, a lot of times if people are causing trouble, they'll be happy to kick with you. But that's not what we're going to do today, because that doesn't always help you, like in a situation like this where people aren't going to listen to me and there's too many and I can't kick them out all by myself. So we're not going to report because we don't know if he's a cheater. But if he is a cheater and you guys are in the session with him, you should report it. Just so you guys know, I've submitted many things to Rockstar support. They pretty much ignore you unless you're reporting it in the session, just so you guys know. So that helps them however how. Just to close that, you know, a lot of people think it's useless. I think it does count. Now, does my one report matter? No. But, you know, if I report, you report, and a few other people report across different sessions, maybe even across different times, that probably shows up on a list somewhere at Rockstar, if you ask me. Yeah, my guess. So this is going to be a lot of opinions because Rockstar doesn't tell us. So you guys will just have to take it from my opinion for what it's worth and see what you guys think. So anyway, we're going to hit show profile. So I want to back up because I kind of lost it there. So go into our players, online, pause, online, players, and then find the person that's bugging you or that you don't trust. Click on them, and then we're going to click show profile. It's going to bring up the social club profile. It should be the same on the Xbox One or on the PlayStation 4 or on the PC, generally speaking. Different buttons, same kind of connection through social club. So at that point, you can click on the player actions, and you can click block. Blocking this user will prevent them from further communicating with you in any way. Block. Are you sure you want to block this user? Yes. Sleepy Hershey successfully blocked. So there you go, guys. So that's how you block people. Now, pop out of here. Now, believe it or not, that works. You know, I've been reading about people doing this for a while, and it has really worked well for them. Now, it's not going to kick him out of the session, as you can tell. His name didn't appear. He's still in here. If I left the session, he should not be able to appear in any session with me. Now, I've been reading about it, and it sounds like it's not completely perfect. On occasion, you could meet up if you're friends with somebody like that's bugging you. You can't get rid of them this way. If you're friends of a friend of somebody, that could maybe bring them in. So there are ways, and apparently sometimes on occasion people see them in the same game mode with them, like adversary mode or something of that nature. Now that said, for the most part, that was a couple years ago. I couldn't find too many people complaining about it in recent times. So again, I think Rockstar's been fixing it. Yeah. So the block list, big thing. Now, just to show you guys again, you can get to that stuff pretty easy by just going to pause and then select on your controller typically, or the home key if you're on the keyboard. Up will come your social club here. And then from there, you can go into your settings, and a block list is right here. Okay, there's Sleepy Hershey. So if I did this by accident, I could unblock right there. And then it would be free again. So if you happen to block somebody, or somebody says it's a friend and you already blocked them, you can unblock them this way, no problem. All right, so that is the block list. Now, many people, I don't know, I couldn't find any kind of limit to this list. But that said, I've been reading about people who have tons of people on their block list. People that, basically like if they helped you do setups for heists and then you didn't invite them to the finale, they'd block you. So basically the only reason I'm telling you about that is just to get the point across that people were doing it for any reason they wanted. Because it's not reporting, it's not kicking, it's not doing any harm to you as far as the players, as far as I know. It just simply blocks them, so that generally speaking, you should no longer come across them in the session. Now, as you guys can probably already tell, it's not a perfect solution because you can't block griefers ahead of time, but nothing knows the future. You can't predict the future, so you don't know who's going to grief you or who's going to be a bad player or not ahead of time. So all you can do is once you find out or you suspect them, like we were just watching them right now, put them on your block list, and that should keep them from ever joining your session. And a lot of the stories I was reading about people doing this for a while, they'd actually build this list over, say, a couple months, and they found that their sessions became quiet and easy and no more problems. So take that for what it's worth, guys. I'd suggest definitely building your block list. Pretty awesome. All right, and maybe let me know if you guys know of a limit or you hit the limit. I don't know. I wonder what the limit is, if there is one. But yeah, that's how you block people. And, it's a good, nice, discreet way. Maybe sometimes, I was reading about some stories about people that had friends that, were too friendly with them, and they didn't want to be that friend with them. But they didn't want to be rude and say, go away or other stuff, right? So this is a great way that you can just block them and it keeps them away from the sessions. So they no longer join automatically. You no longer join them automatically when you log in and things like that. Okay, so next to that, we're going to go into the game settings here too, guys. Now, I'm just going to back out. It's the exact same spot, but, it's tutorial and all that, so I'm just going to show you. So I'm going to press pause here again. Oh, somebody ringing me? Who's gone? Who's gone? Nobody got me? Who's got me? Somebody got me? You never know if it's somebody or if it was Lester again or something. Probably LJT. He's always bugging me. Okay, so we're going to press pause again. And this is going to be, I guess, tip number 2. So we're going to go into our game settings again. So you just press pause, go to your select button or the home key on the computer. And then you're going to bring up this little gear wheel here. And we're going to go back into our social club settings. All right. Now from here, we're going to go into our game settings right here. Now, I was looking for this before, and this list only really exists in the game, at least on the PC anyway. So on the social club website, what I normally do, it doesn't exist, so I couldn't find it. But when you're in the game, then it appears. So this is presence visibility right there. So this determines who can see information about the games you're playing. So if you want to stop friends from seeing you, people from seeing you, everyone from seeing you, this is how. So right now, my presence visibility is set to me only. All right, so right now, nobody knows I'm online, and I've been testing this with a friend, and it works. Everybody sees me as blanked out, as gray. We'll go back to that in a second. Oh, oops, I wanted to go right here. So if my friends list, you can see grayed out names. That's what I appear like, which is pretty cool. Now, back into that list here for a second. Now, why am I telling you guys about this? Is because a lot of people don't know about it, the game settings, and because this is a way you can kind of sneak on. Like sometimes in the past I felt guilty because I was just like checking on something or doing something quick for our show, and people wanted to play with me, but I was just in and out, and I almost felt bad that I had to leave like that. Well, this way you can sneak in and out. Now, just so you guys know, you do have to load up the game first before you can set it to me only. I think by default it's set to everyone, maybe friends. I'm not sure. I can't remember by default anymore. Anyway, the main reason I mention this is because, not so much about the friends, but because I've found, since I've been using this, that my sessions have gotten a lot quieter. So towards the end, we'll talk about solo sessions again. And a lot of people already know, well, not really solo sessions, but I call it starting a new session, because that's really all you're doing is lagging yourself out and starting a brand new session. It's not really a solo session because people could join again right afterwards, right? You're just starting a new session all by yourself at first. Anyway, so we do that often. And when I set this to me only, and you guys might want to try friends and crew, but when I try me only, it's made my sessions quieter. And it's not because of the friends joining me. I don't mind the friends joining me. Just for any of you friends, you can always join me. I never mind. It's all money making, and it's bonuses when everybody else is there, right? But anyway, I found it quieter. So, in my starting of my new sessions, of my solo sessions, I would usually have the odd person come and go, or more, fairly quickly. And in a few hours, I definitely see people, if not have to drop and start a new session again or something. Now, since I've been doing this, I've literally in hours, if not over a couple of days, only had a handful of people or less join my session, and then they left. So, I was starting to think it was a solo session method until I finally got a guy that joined up with me. And he just was a random guy, happened to be around the same rank as me. So this seems to have slowed down the traffic in my sessions by turning myself to this, is what I'm trying to say. Now, again, this is just my opinion, just my guess, and Rockstar doesn't tell us, but it seems to slow it down for me. All right. Now, other information you guys might want to know is, does everything still work? Well, yes, I can invite friends and they still get my invites. They can join up with me, and I look as invisible, like I look as if I'm offline to them until we're in a session together. Once we're in the session together, then they see me as online. It's pretty cool. Now, if I turn this right on right now to friends right now, then it actually tells all my friends that I actually appear on my list right now to my friends as being online right now. And it happens pretty much right away. If they check the list again, I show up there. Now, unfortunately, I didn't seem to, and this could be just when I was testing, but they didn't seem to make the pop-up that says like Missing Socks Online for my friend. But nonetheless, I did show up in the list, all of a sudden lit up that I was online now. So if you want to come online for your friends or your crew, then you could turn it on if you want to go back to being private. Or I'd suggest if you're a private person or you wanted to keep it down low, you might want to be in the habit of setting this to me only, and then when you play with friends, turn it on, and then before you log it off, turn it back to me only. That way you wouldn't announce every time you log on. That's up to you guys. So that's the tip number 2 that seems to have helped me. The block list is definitely the biggest one, but you have to build on it. All right. So next to that, let's see. Let's pop back out. All right, so that's my big research, which is there all the time. I don't know why it's not more promoted. So the next thing is session tempo. So, that we've talked about this in other ones, the temperature, the pace of the tempo, and you can see the people dying in the bottom left corner of my screen there. That's a bad tempo. That's a bad pace. I can't point at it because it turns around. But that's always bad when you see that much going on. That's not a session you want to do your sales in. How many people are in here right now? Not too many. Half full, 13. But nonetheless, if I was forced to go online like this, I would probably change sessions. You've got this red guy right here. You've got this red guy there. And I'm pretty sure that's not a company. That's just angry players looking for more people. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean they're bad players, though, guys. Just, like sometimes they're just fighting somebody that's bugging them and they turn red because they don't understand how it works that way. A good thing about being in the companies is it seems to disable a lot of that. And you can't go into passive mode either. Yeah. Okay, so that brings us to another tip, is passive mode. So a lot of people don't even know about this, but a lot of people do, but it's definitely worth mentioning. Passive mode right there at the bottom of your list. So bring up your interactive menu, and I usually just push up to get to the bottom quicker. And there's your enable passive mode. Unfortunately, you cannot do this when you're a company. You cannot do this when you're doing anything of any importance. It's pretty much useless. But there are times when you're just crossing the map or checking in on things or what have you, where this is a good thing to do. And believe it or not, another little minor tip to add on to that, a lot of vehicles like the tank and the Phantom Wedge will actually last longer while you're in passive mode. No idea why. Probably something to do with the way the explosions don't necessarily damage you as quickly. But you can make a tank and things like that last longer. Now, again, you can't do that while you're on any missions or in a company or anything like that. So this, it's really only for fun in a sense, or getting across the map that it's really any use. But nonetheless, that's there. And important to know if you don't already know about it. And we also talked about kicking players. If you've got, the session to yourself and say you got 3 friends, you've got enough to kick people. And just so you guys know, there is a cooldown timer. I think it's about 5 minutes or so on kicking people. So if you're going to kick people and keep the session to yourself, you should do it right away. And that way the cooldown timer will get better again before somebody else joins and kick them again. And just so you know, kicking doesn't do any harm to the players. I've been kicked. Other people have been kicked. Unfortunately, some people, it's the way Rockstar's built the game. I don't think it's their fault. Don't take it personally unless they've said something to you. But people will kick you sometimes just because they're doing it that way and they don't trust people. Some people. And, if you guys need to, then do what you need to do, right? It's not like we have to work with what we've got, what Rockstar's given us, not what we'd like, Anyway, so let's see. So we talked about reporting cheaters too, and that's important to do that in the session. Yeah, let's see here. Now we'll go through some other things, but maybe there's that guy still in here? Sleepy Hershey is still in here. Where do you think he is? Where do you think he is? Let's see if we can find him. Imaginarium. Sleepy Hershey. Way over there. I've never used my Orbital Cannon. Let's see if we can. This is definitely something you can use on people. And I never used my Christmas, holiday, New Year's shot, so I wonder if it's still free for me. I wonder if it saved it. I hope so. But I wouldn't trust Rockstar. Free! Yay! Automatic targeting. Free! Yay! Happy holidays for Rockstar. Please enjoy one free shot with Orbital Cannon. Yay! Okay, well, I've seen manual targeting, so let's try automatic. I've never tried it before. It's exciting. Oh, Sleepy Hershey. Oh, buddy. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, no. Oh, there he is. Fire. Let's go. Well, I've never seen this before. Active. My zoom. Target has been lost. Relocating. It says in the top left. Oh, I've got to hit the button. Okay, so it's targeting him. All right, here we go, guys. But that's, oh, I see. Okay, tap, tap, tap. Where is he? Where is he? I don't see him. Oh, he's running. There he is. There he is. Ready? 1. Oh, there's a car. 2, 3. Fire. Oh, I've got to hold it down. Oh. Well, like I said, my very first time firing it. So I would fire now, but I think I'd miss. So we're going to wait. Where's he going to park? All right, well, maybe this is cool if this works. Then we can keep on watching. I wonder if you already pay by this point or not. I don't know because it's free for me. Anyway, so remember evasive and defensive tactics. We talked about it before. Press O. Oh, is he going to stay? So remember to keep your eye on the map. And you can press down or Z on the keyboard or down on your directional pad on Xbox and PlayStation and on your controller on the PC. And you can see the players in there and your mini-map. And you can see who's close to you and what's going on. And like I said, the deaths in the bottom left. These are all evasive tactics. Go around people. Usually a lot of missions give you the extra time. Too bad we can't get any closer. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Fire! You obliterated. Yeah. GTA obliteration. GTA Online. You killed another player with the Orbital Cannon. Woohoo. What's reset? Press the reset button. Awesome. That free shot was worth it. Worth it. I want to see one up close, but I haven't done that yet either. Woo. That's fun. And I could have been mean and waited for somebody doing a cell or something like that, but I'm not mean. You guys know that. But maybe that'll teach them not to mess with the small ranks. All right, guys. So this might be a good time to try our solo session out. So we've talked before about solo sessions. And we'll talk about a couple other little things in a moment too, my last little things too. So let me see, make sure there's nothing else that matters with other people. Well, I guess a couple of quick things. Just so you guys know, too, we were talking about evasive defensive tactics. Don't forget your Merryweather, as people remind me to. So, Merryweather. I don't know if I can use them inside here. We're going to find out.
Merryweather, because security is a private matter. What can I do for you?
Yeah, call mercenaries. So, mercenaries and the backup helicopter are both very useful, and they're really kind of cheap. $5,000. Like, I wouldn't recommend spending them like crazy because it's money. But at the same time, that's cheap. 7,500 and $5,000, and they won't exactly kill NPCs. Most good players will kill them pretty easily, but they are a great distraction.
Call back soon.
So if you're trying to fight somebody or keep them away from you, sometimes you can just distract them with little things like that, or have another friend, if you have any friends with you, distract them. But things like that are good to remember as quick little distractions. So just tiny little hints that way. Yep, and then of course invite-only sessions. When you load up your game, go into your single player first, and then go online from there, and you'll get the option for invite-only session. And most things work in invite-only session. Like a lot of the main stuff, you can't sell missions, you can't, source cards and stuff like that. But a lot of times, you're just you can run Headhunter, you can run Sightseer. A lot of times, you're waiting for your MC businesses to fill, your bunker to fill, all these kinds of things. And when you're in those times, you can be in an invite-only session, and it works just fine. All your businesses will keep going just fine. So something to keep in mind. Some people don't know that the invite-only sessions are there. Some people don't know that that you can that all your businesses keep working, even though you're in an invite-only session and you can't completely use them. And then once they're ready, you can always check in on them. And once they're ready, you can pop into a public session, and away you go.
How can I help you?
Snacks, please. Ego chasers, yeah. And piece of Qs. Don't forget your piece of Qs. And of course, remember your body armor. Remember your snacks to heal and to keep your body armor up. Okay, so now back into the solo sessions, which we talked about the other day. We'll leave Sleepy Hershey behind here. So, we've talked about it in our other one. I might put a link to our Gargoyle News episode where I covered this before for the people that want more information. But on the computer, it's a little easier than it is on the console. But the concept is the same for all games. So basically, all you're doing is you're lagging yourself out. You're slowing your internet connection down so that you lag. And then the game is designed so that it actually pops you in your own server so that you don't drop and disconnect. Okay, so that's all you really have to do. Now on the computer, it's nice and easy because we can just go back from Alt-Enter to get out of full screen if you're in it. And then you can go to Windows D for your desktop, or get to your desktop any way you would like. And then from there, you can bring up the resource monitor. Now, I've got a shortcut right on my taskbar for it, but you can usually find it by the task manager, Control-Delete, and then under Performance, and the open resource monitors right there. I'd suggest creating a shortcut down below here. Now, once it comes up, you need to click Network. Usually by default, it's on Overview. Once you click Network, it usually will stay like this on most computers. So every time you load it back up, it'll usually already be on Network again. All right, I'm going to go back in there to make sure we don't time out. Okay, so normally I just click on GTA 5, and we're going to suspend. So I right-click on that, suspend process. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Now I count fast. It's about 7 to 10 real-life seconds. And see, everybody left. And basically, I've just started a brand new public session. Okay, and the game's designed that way. It'll happen by accident, as many of you guys already know. When you're playing along, all of a sudden a bunch of people will drop or things like that, or they'll leave. Quite often it's somebody lagged or you lagged out, and that's that. Oh, speaking of which, another little tip. On your phone, when you bring up your phone, the signal on your phone is the actual connection to the Rockstar servers. So see those little bars in the top left? We're at 2 bars right now out of 3, so it's okay. Usually you want to see 3 bars on that. So it does actually give you a lag detector for the Rockstar servers, and which is kind of good because your internet connection could be fine, but the connection to them might not be. Pardon me, more facility gavi. All right. So not everybody knows that actually works. So I want to show you guys that. Sometimes if you're having problems, you can always check that out. All right, so that is the solo session. Now on the consoles, you can try doing the same thing. You guys can look up other ways that are out there, but there are ways of lagging yourself out permanently in network connection setting, and I don't really recommend them because then you're lagged. You can't play with friends because your session's lagged. You can run into the various other problems that way, but you can try that if it works for you, I guess. But otherwise, on the console, you can find other ways like we just did. Basically, you could even just unplug the internet cable and plug it back in, and you'd have to play with it to get the timing right to make sure you just lag out and don't drop. Now, in case you wait too long, it'll usually just pop you back to your single player, so not a big problem. Okay, so nothing to worry about that way. Now, you do want to practice that if you're going to, because you do not want to try it in the middle of a sale and have things go wrong, and things like that. Now, speaking of sales, because that's another part of bad players and griefers, that's one of the most annoying times. If you're caught in the middle of a sale, you can't always drop to in a solo session and things like that. I recommend it if you can. If you time it right, again, practice beforehand, your salesman mission should be okay. And you'll continue on, as if nothing happened, as if those people just left, right? But really, from their point of view, you just left. And you can complete your sale missions that way. Now, that doesn't always work, though, because sometimes you're flying a dodo plane or things like that, and you can't always land fast enough, or you can't land at all, or things like that. So in those situations, all you can do is, sometimes you actually have to, unfortunately, change session, guys, and give up your cell. So you can always just go to online, find new session, or quit the game. When you do that, the CEO missions, you'll only lose a few crates. And the MC sales, you usually only lose less than half of a blue block, so a very tiny amount. A lot less than failing the sell mission, basically. Even if you only lose one vehicle, like if you had a full sale, it's typically 3 vehicles, say 3 garbage trucks, 3 dodo planes. If you lost one of those, it's typically 1/3 of that bar, right? It's a lot less of a punishment to change sessions. And sometimes there is no punishment at all, as I've found. Sometimes you do lose, just a little under half of a blue bar of your product. And a little while later, it's ready to go again, or just do it, a little less. Anyways, guys, that's better than letting a griefer have their way with you and taking out 1/3 of your sell mission or more. Yeah. Let's head into our Avenger. Still alone? Yep. So like I said, I've started a new session. I'm not a solo session. People could join up anytime. But because I've hidden my settings, like we were talking about earlier, I found that my sessions are a lot quieter. And I'm going to start building up that block list again so you guys can see it. And I'd recommend you guys can try that out and let me know if you run into any problems or if you have any other advice for other players. Maybe if you find any new players or people that could use this kind of advice, you could tell them to watch this video and it might help them out. Because I know it's a big problem in San Andreas. I really wish that Rockstar gave us more control. I don't know how. There's lots of ways they could do it. Different types of sessions. Good players, bad players, aggressive players or not. Maybe story mode sessions. Like, not story mode sessions, but more of a role play lobbies, I guess you could say, And then you'd have your first-person shooter, like your Warzone lobbies, It'd be nice if they gave us some choice, Or just simply be able to start join an empty session or start a solo session anytime you wanted to, without having to do things like that. Like I've said before, guys, the software is in there. They just don't let us use it, but it's working. Like I just dropped into my own session. All right, everybody. So I just reloaded here just so I could show you guys with some more people back in the session again. So just a sampling. Thankfully, this one's just a peaceful session, the way you want it to be. But nonetheless, I did want to show you guys a couple last-minute things just before I let you go. So one of the other things that we could use is your map. So we covered that before, but just for those that don't know, you've got your map in the bottom left corner. Now, your map is kind of a different kind of little map here. Let me get it some height. So these maps are not the same as you go along through them. So there's obviously the big map, and you can tell that pretty easily. You can always click on somebody and click around through them, things like that, right? But that's obviously not what I'm talking about. That's not very convenient. So you've got that bottom left map, the mini map. Now, when you're in the small map, it actually shows you a longer view. So, when you're looking at that, you're actually seeing further distance, further miles, further kilometers out on that mini map on the small one. Oh, LJT.
Hey, it's LJT.
What's up?
We've got bail.
Oh, yes, Kush. My Kush to sell. It's all ready to go again. Okay. So I'll got to get back to him. So anyway, yeah. So the little map is your farther reach. Now, when you go bigger like this, you actually see smaller. See, there's the prison. I'm just flying by the prison there on the left, and now I go like this and see how much less. See the area. So it's kind of like an overhead view, and it depends on how high you are. But this little map actually does let you see further out. It depends on the view, though. See, like the lake is way out there, and I can't even see the lake now. And then now you can see all the way across it, and now you can barely see it. So that's basically how that works. Fly away. I don't want to worry anybody. I think they're doing their missions. Don't worry, I'm not coming to get you. Let's go up. So, a lot of people realize that map has some different things between it. So this big map, going back to that, even though you're seeing a smaller area, it's actually like a radar. Okay, so see the guys, see there's little people all around my map there? On the right side you can see the guy blinking away because he's doing some kind of a gun mission. I think it's a air freight mission. And he's passing over somebody right there in his house. So I'm just going to flip on my autopilot here. So you can see that they're all on the big map. Now, when you're on the big map like this, the big mini map I mean, you can see further. But they're not actually close to you. Okay, so I'm going to go on the map, and you're going to see that these guys are way over here. This guy's way up here. This guy in the chopper with the blinking bullets on him, he's way up here. Okay? So see on the mini-map, you can't see him anymore. Oh, now he's starting to show up. That's because he's on a mission. But basically on the mini-map, you only see things that are on a mission, or when they're close to you. So I'm just going to fly away a little bit, just in case. I don't want to make him concerned. I'm not so worried. I'm just more worried about bugging people inadvertently. Yeah. So with this little mini-map, you could think of it as a radar. And when you see somebody on that little map, it means they're close to you, usually. Okay? Now this time, he's the one exception. Because the game seems to, like any kind of things that it wants you to hunt down, people on cell missions, all these kinds of things, they quite often show up right across the map. But they do kind of work, just not as well. They kind of fade in and fade out, but not as much as the other things do. So, sorry guys, it's a little complicated, but unfortunately that's the exception. Generally speaking, you don't see anybody. See on my main map, there's nobody there? Oh, there's a green guy. Yeah, it's because he's on the mission. Thought it was somebody close by. But when I go out like this, you can see there's a brown guy at the top. There's a green guy at the top there. I'm going to bring him north. I'm not sure where the other guy is. He might be in the side with somebody else. Yeah. Oh, he's in the air. Going to clothing stores somehow. No, I want players. Yeah, there we go. Alright, so there's a guy way out there. Uh-oh. He's coming towards me. Dude in green. Okay, so on the minimap, you're going to see that now that little glider dude in green is now starting to show up. He might be in a Starling, I'm not sure. But see how he's showing up now on the minimap? That lets me know that he's close. That means he's a threat. I can see his lights there. I'm letting this all happen just so you guys can see that. So basically, that's how you can tell. It's almost like a radar. When you're flying and you can't check your map, you can't really pay attention to what's going on because you're in the middle of a mission or selling stuff. You'd look at that map, and when you see people on the little map, you'd assume that they're nice and close to you. If you see a jet icon, look out because it probably is coming right at you. If it's pointed at you and it's on the mini map, it means it's not far away and it's coming your way. When you're on the big map, and that's why I explained it, because when you're on this big mini map, they are not close to you. So I don't want you to panic. See that white guy there? He's blinking away. So see that right there with the little flag? And now he's not there at all. So let's see how far away he is. He's over here. Not too far away. And now I'm going to come closer to him. So I just wanted to kind of go over that because not a lot of people don't realize that the maps are doing different things at the different levels. They see differently, and you see the players differently, and it can give you an easy way to know how close or not they are to you. I think that guy's trying to intercept me. Oh, uh-oh. Is he attacking that poor guy down there? I think he is. Who knows what's going on down there, though? We joined this session, so who knows? Okay, so that's the minimap. So Lester, you know, is another things you guys want to remember is that you can go off the radar using Lester. Okay, now this is only partially good though, because it will take you off the radar.
You don't want a back rub. How can I
Right.
help?
So remember, remove wanted levels, but there's also off the radar.
Call me back when you
Unfortunately,
figure out how that brain of yours works.
Unfortunately, when you go off the radar, it quite often doesn't hide your mission. So if I was carrying special cargo or the cell missions, like quite often your dodo plane will still sit there blinking on the map. So it's almost pointless that you ghost yourself. Just so you guys know. But nonetheless, it is there. Some situations it might be useful. Now there is also the Merryweather, and I think we also covered that already. But those are good for distractions and whatnot. Another thing I did want to cover, though, is... Oh, I better join a company here. Yeah. And that's the CEO menu and CEO abilities. Or VIP. I believe the VIP has abilities, but I'm not completely sure on that. But I do know the CEO does. I think the VIP does. And you basically have Ghost Organization. Now, unfortunately, you don't want to use this often. It is $12,000. That said, that's not that much, really, when you consider it hides all 4 people in your organization. And it also hides the special cargo blips. So keep that in mind, too, which is good. Now, on that note, though, I'd really recommend to you guys getting something like... Here, let me see if I should be okay. Getting the Akula attack helicopter, which we want to get, too. So you do want to do the Doomsday Heist, that part, so you can actually get the unlock better price for 2.7 million. Otherwise, you spend an extra million, 3.7. That said, it's still a good price for what it is, which is a stealth helicopter. So it'll actually take you off the radar, all 4 people, including anything that you have, like any bounties, any special cargo you're carrying, anything like that, which is awesome, because like I said, the other ways don't quite work like that. All right, now the last things, I guess, is to be friendly to other people, guys. You know, watch out for them. Avoid others, you know, using the map and other things like that. Don't buzz them unnecessarily if they're in the mission, at least if you're trying to avoid problems yourself. You know, if you're trying to test out your hardware, you know, that's a different story. But if you're trying to do the peaceful server like we're talking about today, peaceful session, then oh, pardon me, new lips today. The peaceful session, then you do want to be nice to people. And on that note, try to watch your homing missiles, you know, like on your buzzard and stuff. I always try to keep in the habit of going to my machine guns wherever possible, whenever I don't need them. That way I'm not accidentally missile locking on people, because that'll tend to annoy some people, and it'll also, sometimes it'll cause the fight you're trying to avoid. You know. Now, on that note, you can also intimidate people sometimes. You can also let them know you're looking at them sometimes, or even bother people. You know, if there's somebody who's airstriking your friend, you can sit there with the homing launcher or the buzzard's launcher and just keep locking onto them. And inside their plane, they should keep on hearing the beeping. Just so you know, though, a smart pilot doesn't react too much, because a smart pilot knows, like, the first beeps are nothing to worry about. It's when it starts beeping again faster afterwards. That's when somebody's actually fired a missile at you. All right, so just some extra little pointers. Watch out for locking on to people unless you mean to, and be friendly. Be excellent to each other. Ooh. All right, guys, so I think that's everything I could think of. I tried to make this one shorter, but, you know, it's just so much to cover, and it's something I've been researching for a while. And I think we've pretty much covered it all. I did want to finish with, you know, if you guys have any advice for other players, advice for me, if you have any tips, tricks, things I might have missed. I know we didn't really talk about fighting other players very much, and to me, that's because that's a different video. That's a different conversation, how to fight other players. Different players have different abilities, you know, and different money, resources, and tools and toys available to them. So it's kind of a different subject than just how to get rid of the griefers. You know, remember that block list. Who would have thought there's a block list? I didn't. You learn something every day, I guess. Yeah. And let me know how it goes, guys. If it fails on you any times, let me know when. You know, try to remember when and how, and you know, and hopefully it just works for us, like other people are saying. Yeah. He must be transporting cargo down there. This dude has explosive rounds and a minigun at rank 55. Well, there is ways to get it. You get your facility going, right? And like we said, you can pick it up there. Now, the explosive rounds, don't know about that. But you could get it. If you got the money, you know, rank 55 in theory. Oh, I don't know if that's a cheater. He said, totally not a cheater, some guy. Well, I don't know. Depends if he spent real money or not. But it could be done. Woohoo. And jump. Oh, I should have hit autopilot first. Sorry, Avenger. I'm sorry. Let's see if we can get it away. Return to storage, Avenger. Return to storage before you hit the ground. It's fine if it doesn't. But, you know, that's funny. My poor plane. Yep, there you go. Magically delivered. Woohoo! I do love skydiving. I don't know why, but I get it every now and again. It's just so much fun. I wish they do. A long time ago, they had was it double money or triple money on parachuting? I think it was triple money. If you ever see that, you know, go for it, because believe it or not, it's great money because you can parachute to the ground so fast, and it's one of the better ways of making money. But you would never think so because it's just parachuting, and it doesn't really make enough money even at double. But there we go. Oh, I could have waited a couple seconds longer. All right. Yeah. Woohoo. All that practice from parachuting. Yeah, like I said, watch out for that because that's a good moneymaker and that happens. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Take care. Stay safe in San Andreas. And we'll see you again next time for the next episode. And yeah. You should like and subscribe. It's free. Really helps us out. And thanks for coming along with us, everybody. Woo. Hope that helps you out. Yeah, and I'll let you know if I find more. And like I said, if you know any more, that'd be great. I think we all want to know. I wish there was better answers, but, you know, it's Rockstar that we have to work with, you know. All right. Take care, everybody. Roam. Oh, well, you know, I've always got these little afterthoughts I keep you guys for, but, you know, in a way, this is almost the session that you want, you know? You see that? Like, everybody's just kind of doing their thing. You know, I've been doing my stuff in here for a little while, and nobody's messed with me, really. Well, I guess that green guy was trying to follow me, but who knows? He might have been just trying to fly by me. Or maybe he was trying to get me, who knows? But either way, it's generally a quiet session. Yeah. So on that note, you know, sometimes you might want to stick it out because there is bonuses and things like that are sometimes worthwhile. You know, just food for thought. Bye-bye.